Hello everybody. From this very cold day at the feet of the Royal Mount here in Montreal, you see the stalactites coming from the ceiling. Outside is very cold. I guess that the Murrays experienced something similar during the glacier times. Here today we are minus 30 degrees Celsius, but the cold outside gives a place for us to gather inside around the heat of the fire of the house that represents the heat of the fire of our own inner soul and being. We will continue today to discuss the rays of Mu, to ask for guidance, to request our Lemurian masters to bring down the information through this channel, and also through the presence of the sacred text that Madame Blavatsky put into ink in her masterpiece, The Sacred Doctrine. So let's go back to the Moon rays. In the ancient scriptures, these rays, the third rays, are called the children of heaven on earth. Why? Because remember that they were the first to have a physical form. The first and second rays could not achieve a physical status, a physical body. They are in the point of equilibrium. They're in the point of balance between spirit and matter. They have a triangular aspect where the for the matter, the for the spirit, and the U for soul or unity forms a perfect equilateral triangle of expression that allows them to live both down in the matter and go up the ladders to go to the divine realms. They are also called the sons of will, and the will is a very important point in the development of this race. The first two races were ethereal, lived in another plane, a subtle plane, on the earth, in the Hyperborean regions of the earth, but they could not achieve descending down to the physical plane. This is what the Moon rays can achieve, and this by itself is a great achievement. To have success, to succeed in bringing down the fire of the central sun through spikes of individual beings that descend and succeed to inhabit matter, that in itself takes a lot of will. The descent from the central source into matter for individualized experience needs to be done in a staged way, and needs to develop a strong will to continue coming down despite all the adversities, because you have in constant sight your aim. So they're also called the sons of will, in the sense that they didn't turn around and said, we go back to the source. We continued to descend to fulfill in ourselves this will of the Creator to reach in spirit all the planes of existence until the most dense and difficult one. So this is why the race of Mu is called also the children of heaven and earth, and also the sons of will, yeah? Because they are those who expressed and fulfilled that wish of the Creator to impregnate with spirits all the planes of existence. And in this sense, the Mu race is the culprit of creation. As soon as Mu is created, the matter is inhabited by the spirit, the soul appears from this interaction, and creation in a way is completed. The creation is completed in the sense that the spirit could penetrate the matter. This gave development to the hue, the sense of unity, the soul, and man has the potential of comprehending in itself all the potentials of God. So from Mu, where matter, M, spirit, U, union, soul, exist in a perpetual equilibrium with a center of consciousness in the heart and a sense of unity beyond separativity. The next step approaches. What is the next step is to provide an individual mind, called in Sanskrit manas. And this is a very difficult point in every project, and many projects before failed at this exact point when we have to incorporate the manas. I compare it to that point where you are doing an alchemic process, or even a recipe in your kitchen, and you know that you have to add an ingredient that, if not incorporated at the right time, at the right proportion, with the speed that is necessary, could completely ruin your meal, your food, what you are preparing. So the incorporation of manas, of mind, is critical in the process of evolution of the race. First of all, from Mu, living in consciousness in the heart, the energy and the consciousness had to ascend to help develop the brain, and the site of consciousness had to become in the brain to develop the brain, so that this brain, this tissue, could also receive the mind, which is an instrument that is not physical, but is located mainly in the side of the head. So this is when they move from the heart to the head, and once the brain has reached the development that could incorporate the mind, the manas appears. And then when the manas appear, the man reaches real completion. Why? Because the divine mind inhabits now the form. It's not just spirit and matter, but it's the mind of the Creator, giving the potential to the manas, to the human beings, to become themselves little gods or little creators. And of course, we don't have a mastery at this point of our potential of creation, and we are thus in that point of life that could be compared to the adolescence. You know, when in a human life, we reach that point where we can start creating the form, reproducing ourselves, and we do every kind of nonsense that is possible with this potential. We're exactly there. We have incorporated the manas, the principle that makes us creators, but we're stuck there. With the incorporation of the manas, the sense of separativity also came. We detach ourselves, not just from others in our race, but also from the other kingdoms of existence. And thus, we became isolated, self-centered, and with a great potential that is still dormant. We're just creating small things, you know. We have such a great potential. We have this divine potential of creation in different dimensions that is just stuck to little creation aspects in this material life. So from the point of view of the creator, when the human incorporates the mind, the manas, and they became human manas, we as creatures become the parameter or the shape that determine and rule every other form of life in this round. So the humanas, the human beings, are the ruler that measures everything that is created. We are the culprit, we are the potential culprit of creation that needs to be developed and extended to our dormant powers. We are meant to be sitting in the throne of the creation, not in an egotistical or individualized way, but in the way of becoming the rulers, the masters of the temple, the kings of the kingdom, the pieces of the whole system that gives unity to the system, rules over the other species with compassion, with love, with inclusiveness, with determination to be part of a whole, and that with our potential that includes the physical, the spiritual, the soul, and the mind, we can use these potentials to push up the other forms of existence that are living or experiencing the intermediate realms of creation. And saying that, we will revisit what are the different consciousness states that share this place on earth. We have the first experience that is not conscious in this dimension, which is experience of mean, M-E-N, mean. And this is the expression of the creator in the physical realm, purely, without consciousness. This is the realm, the kingdom of the mineral world, where the matter, by its links, by its union, by their atomic combinations, by the molecules, by different combinations of the elements, prepare itself to receive consciousness. And this is a status that the earth itself had to cover for millennium of years or more. This is the first stage of expression of consciousness. The second, the mean turns into nim, inverting self, nim. And there's this first spike of consciousness that appears, giving origin to the anim, the matter with consciousness. And that creates the animal world, okay? With the appearance of the A, the basic soul. The basic soul that lives in complete unity consciousness, but without individuality at all. And this is the animal world. And when this is reached and conceived, in the middle we have also the vegetable and the tree realm, but this is a kingdom that comes more from the Devic line of development. So it's not really human. These are consciousness that do not inhabit the third dimension, but other dimensions. They live in second dimension and then in the fourth and sixth, so they do not project their consciousness in this dimension, and they belong to the chain of development of the Devas. So they are helping us, they are assisting us, they're sustaining the creation, the vegetable form, the plants, the trees, the fruit trees, but they don't belong to our own path or line of development. So we said min, anim, in the middle the vegetables and all that kingdom, and then the muh, where the where the soul prevails as factor of union, is the first race, and the mu, M-U-H, starts in the second race, and from the mu that we call as a Lemurian, the inversion from the heart to the brain is created, and the manas is incorporated, and we have the humanus. To close, each round, each cycle has the guidance of invisible beings, many of them, but there is one that leads all the hosts that sustains and help the humans from the other direction. And this is somebody that has had complete control and mastery. He's a master of the manas of the mind. So he went through the process of separativity, and he reached unity through the mastery of the mind. That is the man from mind, you from unity. Man, you. And in the Vedic tradition is known as the Manu, the Manu. The Manu is that being that has been through the whole human experience from separativity to unity through the mastery of the mind, and has become a guide to the humans. So the humans, we are guided from the invisible realms from a Manu. The humans are guided by a Manu. And this is very well expressed and represented in the Vedic tradition that says that in this specific round, our Manu now is called Vaivasvata. Okay? Vaivasvata is the great teacher beyond the form that is there to project the light of the mind as the master of the mind from the subtle realms to the world to guide humanity in their process of evolution. So we have seen today what we call the race of Mu, the sons of will, the sons of heaven and earth, and how the different expressions of consciousness on earth went from min to anim to mu to hum to humanas to manu. This is a process of mastery in the human form, and we have seen how each round has a manu that guides the humanity through the process and cycle of evolution. We will meet next time to continue speaking about these progenitors of or mentor of the human race, and to also discuss a little bit the continent of Mu, the continent of Lemuria. Thank you very much.